Top of the evening, the news by Shaw News. Motion talk, man. Motion talk, motion reaction. Let's just say, look, man, who's this calling? Who's this calling? Nope, not pertinent, right? Motion time, man. It's motion time. Um, this is gonna be some reactions. I gotta go get my daughter, but I may just pause the live. I don't know. Um, but happy Tuesday, all. Happy Tuesday. I'm at the desk. I want to do some reactions on topics. I put out a lot of content already, all over Facebook, IG, uh, YouTube. Not too much on TikTok, I don't think. Literature, things like that, man. So, first topic. Appreciate you, Master Rank. Salute, salute. I'm just gonna run through them in no specific order. Um, Terrence Crawford, and I want to shout out Big Dog Gumbo, right? Terrence Crawford is a level. Let's mute that, right? We don't want the music playing. But Terrence Crawford has the Chitlin circuit, YouTube Chitlin circuit, hands down, turned down, right? This man is on the cover of Forbes Life. Uh, these guys that sit around on the YouTube boxing scene, not only do you guys look ridiculous, you guys look like what you are, man. A bunch of gossiping, weak-minded individuals, man. That speak on a billion-dollar, million-dollar industry with no motion. But Terrence Crawford graced the cover of Forbes. Now, this is the funny thing with this. Let me stop it right there. The funny thing with this is, and I'm going to read a little bit of the literature, right? It's cool when they do it, right? I had a guy, and I'm going to front on him because he has weirdo vibes, right? Um, and I'm not even going to disclose who he is, but these niggas be having weirdo vibes, right? It's cool when they do it, right? But check out the literature on this, right? Because whenever I used to do my thing, right? And shout out to the team. I have a team around me now, but the same type of weirdos and trolls and guys that be in the bushes. When you start to do a lot of things that they always try to say, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that, it exposes them for what they are: snakes, devils, in disguise. So now that you see the literature, right? Check the literature out with this, right? But remember, I was on board for this last week. I told you monopoly money. See, Oscar De La Hoya knew this was coming. He knew Terrence Crawford was going to grace the cover of Forbes. He was going to have a big write-up, article, cover page, and all that. So he threw the shots about the monopoly money. But check my article out, man. Shot News Boxing LLC feature reaction report. Because this is the reaction. This is boxing, y'all, so don't miss out, man. Terrence Crawford on the cover of Forbes, pressure, power, proof. When you talk about motion, credibility, and a fighter whose life story reads like a case study in real silence, silence. Terrence Bud Crawford just took another victory lap, this time outside the ring and not just any lap. He officially is on the cover of Forbes magazine, one of the ultimate symbols of global financial respect. That is big. Monopoly money, y'all. Pay attention. Remember, the guy said monopoly money. And the timing perfectly, chaotic perfectly, Crawford. Crawford on the cover of Forbes, a statement louder than any call out. Being on the cover of Forbes is something most athletes never touch. Now I gotta stop it and I want to do my reaction. Crawford moving funny. Yeah, remember you guys on IG when he was fighting Spence, right? Remember he was gonna fight Spence. He needs to know how to negotiate. Yeah, man, all that. But look what they just said. Few athletes never get to touch the cover of Forbes. This guy who negotiated in bad faith. Remember one of your favorites. One of your favorites that talks boxing said that, man. You guys watch these guys. And let me stop before I want to applaud these guys because these guys are more successful than me. A lot of these guys, attempted to, defame me and, just say I wasn't successful because in their eyes and views of success, I was an underachiever. But in my eyes and what I do, not only are they underachievers, they're not even on my level. That's why I used to flex on them on my academic. Academic used to be like, oh, you trying to get money on my block. That's how these guys are to me. Like, I do boxing. I have a catalog of media work. Now my kids have a catalog of media work. So when I used to see guys who sit on YouTube and blog and gossip and try to front on me, I'm like, dog, I'm not fronting. I'm talking about things that I have done. Rest in peace, Luther Vandross. I can only speak on the things that I've been through. Right. So I was speaking on things that I've been through. But you live in such a world of scheming and scamming and trickery and illusions that you overlooked me, as many did. But now you can't even afford my services. And from what we are reading now, it's cool when y'all do it, but it's a problem when I do. Look at the literature, though, man. So Terrence Crawford, the guy that negotiated in bad faith, the guy that did all these things, I'm tongue tied, has graced the cover of Forbes magazine. You got to check out the music that I use. I use Red Cafe, Paper Chasing, Shakedown, because they was trying to shake him down. Week later, he's on Forbes. Don't know if your money's right, but a nigga like me about paper. 7 in the building, smash the like button. We're just doing some reaction. If I take a halftime pause in about 15 minutes, don't worry, I'll be back on. I got to go pick up my daughter. Unfortunately, she went back to the program today. But look, Crawford isn't just a fighter. He's an empire. Yeah, I like that, man. At a time when the sport has been debating sanctioning fees for motor politics and a fighter's pay, Crawford appearing on Forbes is a statement piece. Monopoly money. I built myself, I stayed true, and now the world sees it. The sanctioning body drama, perfect contrast. Let's not forget the current storm in boxing. Crawford refused to pay the WBC sanctioning fee. Now I gotta stop it again. Remember, it was another content guy you guys love. He said Crawford couldn't afford it. Forbes don't think so. Forbes got him on the cover. But you sat here and tried to push that narrative. How much did they pay you to play that? How much? You guys that do shit for a super chat. Shake your fast. Show me what you're working with. Shake your fast. Show me what you're working with. Yes, you guys are shake your fast. But this is YouTube boxing. I'm only streaming, y'all. I'm streaming, doing reactions. It's cool when they do it, right? It's cool when they do it. It's cool when they do it, right? Look, a move that sparked tension, debates, think pieces and outcries across boxing media, fighters and fans calling out sanctioning bodies for decades of questionable practices. Crawford standing on principles, even if it meant risking a belt. While sanctioning bodies are arguing about percentages, Crawford is gracing the cover of a global financial magazine. Yes, that's a statement. Forbes. Now, this is cool when they do it, yeah. I know y'all not used to me seeing me do this. I'm reading. I'm reading. How do I read? Do I read on the third grade level, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth, seventh, eighth? What is my reading level? The symbolism, the leverage. That's the definition of I don't need your belt to validate me. Oscar De La Hoya's Monopoly money. There it is. Comment. Aging badly. Yes, it is, right? I don't know if your money's right, but a nigga like me about paper. I don't know if your money right, but a nigga like me about paper. I'm about paper. I'm about paper. All my players get paper. Shout out to Terrence Crawford, man. But yeah, definitely, tap in with that. I put that out on numerous platforms. Shout out to Gumbo. You see, Gumbo, you told me about that when I was working, and I always am working. And then I got on top of this and I put this out. Yes, shout out to my team. And upon me pointing it out, like I said, the couple of the weirdos, they're in their feelings. Like I said, it's cool when they do these type of things, man. Huh? And it's a problem when I do. But that was the first reaction of the day. First reaction of the day, man. Salute, salute, man. Got guys coming in and out, in and out. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's get over here. Should I stay with boxing or that was boxing related? That was boxing related. All right, I'll keep it boxing related, right? I put this out. There's a million guys on right now that do big numbers. They have a lot of subs. There's a lot of going on in their chats, super chats, and back and forth debates, fight parties, and all of these type of things, right? But why isn't it not transferring over? Right? A lot of these boxing YouTube influencers pull big numbers, talk wild, and act like they are the gatekeepers of the sport. But let's keep it all the way honest. They got thousands upon thousands of subs, millions of views, all that loud energy online, yet none of it shows up in the arena and none of it moves the pay-per-view needle. If the fan base that they brag about, oh, I got 50,000 subs, I go live, I got 300, 500 people watching me. If the fan base they brag about were real, events would be sold out. Pay-per-views would be breaking records. The fighters they hype would have real momentum. But the empty seats, the flat numbers tell a different story. So it makes me wonder, do they really have the influences they claim? Are they listeners listening or just clicking? Are they talking boxing or just talking? Because one thing about this sport, you can't fake impact. You either move the culture or you just make noise in the algorithm. But hey, what do I know? Now, I know some of you guys are going to sit back and say, nobody watches you. You're mad. You're on the internet. You're talking to nobody. You're talking to nobody. Nobody listens to you. Nobody listens to you. But yes, nobody doesn't listen to me. But unlike not being listened to, I have been working over the years, literally, really working pro bono, right? But not really pro bono because one thing God has bestowed upon me is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I always kept receipts of things that I have accomplished. And I remember a fighter that I was behind. I was in the field and I'm waiting for you guys to debunk this. Here it is right here. Can y'all see this? Another great article, great read, right? Shout out to this guy. He looked it good. I seen him out and about in San Antonio. His fighter won his fight. He did not look like he was under the influence of any substance. So salute to him. Glad to see that he is getting himself back on track, right? Earl Spence Jr. may be known worldwide as the Truth. But his story starts in Brentwood, Long Island, New York, the place where he was born, before relocating to Texas at just 3 years old. Texas, because the soil became the soil where his boxing roots took hold, where he sharpened his tools and eventually emerged as one of the most gifted welterweights of this generation. But even as his career flourished in a Lone Star state, Spence's influence and support stretched far beyond it. On the East Coast, Jackal Fitness, now known as Shaw News Boxing, played a meaningful and consistent role in elevating his profile. Long before many mainstream outlets caught on, the platform was already pushing Spence's highlight storyline and rise through the ranks, engaging fans and keeping his name active within the key boxing community. Team Spence, so it don't make sense. So now when you talk about influence and being an influencer and really having stamps of doing it, I have all of these through strategic coverage, marking, energy, grassroots engagement. Shine News Boxing helped reinforce Spence's presence across Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Long Island, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Now I have a whole bunch of Spence fans. Didn't even realize they were Spence groupie fans because of my work. Because, like I said, I'm in the shadows. I just pile up stats and stamps and receipts. But nobody watches me, so they don't understand because they base their success off of an illusion. And I base my success off of actual stamps and certifications of actually doing things. And then when I fall back from doing things, I always have receipts of things that I have actually accomplished.
Like raw fish.
Oh, so one day you'll get your palate used to that raw fish. Gotcha. What's that? What else you got for me?
What's your favorite place to go?
Favorite place to go is the beach. I love the beach, yo. Anywhere if there's a beach nearby, I love to go there, relax, walk along the beach, barefooted, get my feet dirty. Yeah, no doubt. Stick my foot in the water. I don't go in the water though. There's sharks and stuff in there. Nah, I don't mess with that. Alright?
Do you play basketball?
Man, look at my height. I'm short.
No,
I can't play no basketball.
Yes, you can.
No.
I believe you can.
I believe you can. Shout out to CEO Nasai. The constant media motion strengthened his East Coast fan base while showcasing him as just not a world champion, but as a cultural figure within boxing. Remember, Earl Spence was a cultural figure. Some of you guys still to this day are groupied out, idol worshippers. That's idol worshippers. Content, though, man. Content. Now, I gotta go get my daughter, but I'm gonna do 10 more minutes real quick. I want to do 10 minutes on another quick topic. That was two boxing topics, man. Now, I'm not gonna stay on boxing because, like I said, I don't see nothing in the comments. I don't see no gifts. I don't see no super chats, no nothing. So I'm gonna switch gears now. I want to talk about academics and Mano. I'm gonna tie this all up to hustling on the block. And the reason why academics is tearing him up because they called academics, well, he called academics a lame, of all these things. But academics is in his lane. He is a blogger, a streamer, and a lot of you guys now are in his world, right? Hold on. Let me get up real quick. So yes, now a lot of rappers, gangsters, tough guys are blogging, podcasting. This is a lane that academics has mastered. Yes, he has mastered. He's one of the bigger streamers. He has a lot of backing. He makes a lot of money. Um, the antics that used to work when you can punk somebody because you're a gangster or you're tough, it's not really going to work with him, and that's what we're witnessing right now with Mano. And I touched on this yesterday. I said, yeah, Mano physically could probably beat him up, have him under pressure, bully him. But when it comes to podcasting and streaming, he's kicking Mano's ass. And he brought up a great point, right? He brought up a point about, you know, Mano went at him about allegations, right? And everybody talks about people. I'm pretty sure Mano is successful. I'm not gonna act like he's not successful. So anytime you're successful, there's always gonna be somebody that wants to tear you down or have a story about you that tries to make you less successful. And academics talked about that, saying that people reached out to him and he could have went the route that Mano did, but they would have had it would have been double standards, which he is spot on. But sometimes that's what you got to do. Because if he's going to go at you like that, and this is podcast and pod, you got to go at him like that. But I think where academics is at, he doesn't need to. Because, like I said, he and Sub brought up a great point. Shout out to my guy, DJ Deep Freeze Sub Zero. Academics probably does have more money than all those guys combined, right? Because he's one of the top streamers. And he said something to me today. Well, not to me, but I heard it and I said, "Damn, that's for me." Right? He's been doing it for 15 years. 15 years. So I said, okay, 15 years is a long time to grow, put in the work. Right? It's a long time. So I was like, I get it. I get where he's at, and he does run this block. This is his block now. They're trying to do what he does, and they can't do it. And he's spot on. The more they talk, the more they remind me of like a lot of these niggas that don't do nothing. When you don't do nothing, you think, oh, I'm just gonna come on the internet and gossip and gossip. That's all you're doing is gossiping. But when you continue to just gossip day after day, year after year, it starts to add up. You didn't do nothing last year. You didn't do nothing the year before. I did a video. That's why I did this video. And hopefully this is all tying in. I'm gonna get my daughter in a second, right? But I did a video, and I put together. Well, my shout out to my team. We put it together real quick. I was like, yo, use this, and this real quick because the end of the year is coming, and I just want to show like I don't even have to pop out as much, but when I pop out, I still have a body of work that most of you guys that sit online that are supposed to be fans of boxing, content creators of boxing, still haven't made no content of boxing. And I did it to show the industry. It doesn't matter the people that you attempt to put in position. I am me. He is I and I am him. I will always, as long as I don't sell my soul to the devil. And when I walk my path, God is walking with me in lanes, doors, avenues, walls, kingdoms will fall. Yes, they will fall. God showed me this. He told me this. These are the facts. Kingdoms will fall. Hopefully, you guys are checking and digging this source. But I'm about to get up out of here. I might come back on later. I don't know if I'm gonna go to the gym tonight. I should. I don't know. I'm kind of tired. I'll be tired every day. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be tired every day, but I get my second one from the kids, and I always end up down at the gym. Right? But I just wanted to put this out there. And we're going to close with this video. A video that they always try to bury. But see, one thing about always burying receipts, you can't bury them because receipts.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Success doesn't follow a formula, and neither do you.
Who knew that dancing with dogs could actually become my career?
Planning ahead,
I knew that the experience was going to start when people go into the website.
or playing it by ear.
I saw the opportunity.
Content, y'all.
How are you doing today?
NABF champion. I want to invite him to stick out.
Content, y'all.
The news by Sean News. You see, this man needs no introduction. Mr. Derek Harmon, former world champion. How are you doing today?
NABF champion. I want to invite him to stick out with world champion.
Still champion is the
world, right?
champion is the
Still
champion.
But I just want to, clarify that for the other fighters that are our world champions.
Yes. But yeah, this describe this, man. You being Bob's right hand. Hectic travel. The last couple of weeks, man. What was that like, man?
Brutal.
Yes.
Brutal, man. I'm still recovering.
Okay.
I got home 10 days from Australia and then come here.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Now, you being a former fighter, Wilder just had his ordeal. If you was Team Wilder, like I said, being a former fighter, what advice would you have for Deontay Wilder moving forward?
Well, I think if you look at Tyson Fury and look at Wilder both,
yes.
I think in their last fights, I think you see where the 3 fights that they had probably did a lot of damage to each other.
Yes.
A lot of wear and tear. So, listen, he came to the sport late, made some great money, made a great impression on boxing. He was a big puncher. He brought him some excitement. So, every time he got in the ring, you knew or thought it could be a devastating knockout.
Yeah.
I take my hat off.
The news by Shaw News. I got the legend right here, Mark Kriegel, man. First off, thank you for your time, man. You're
Content, y'all. Don't mind me, man. I'm just in my bag, man. Content, man. Look, this is the most proud part right here. That's my legacy. I passed the torch. Look.
Now you gotta lean over. Yeah.
I passed the torch, y'all. That's my legacy. Content, man. Troll me now, motherfucker.
Tiger Johnson. It's the Tiger Johnson fight.
Fuckers.
See you on the
now. Troll me now, dry-hated gatekeepers, weirdos,
Coach Reen on the scene.
punk-ass cowards in the boxing bushes. Troll me now.
The news by Shaw News. You see who I got. Shout out to my Caribbean brother Bullet in the building. Appreciate you, champ. First off, welcome to New York. News by Shaw News with the lovely Miss Christina. First off, thank you for your time. You are one of my favorites. The news by Shaw News, man. I got Ali Felice with me, man. First off. All right, the news by Shaw News. We bringing it all to the table. Man. See the motion.
I'm about to get up out of here.
Okay, we
reloaded. Your own commercial.
This is the sausage transfer. Hey, what do I know? Make sure to buy these hats. Just DM my dad up, and that's how we do it.
That's how we do
Roy
it.
Jones Jr.
That's how we do
Man,
it.
that's Roy's fist. Let me see. Let me compare my fist to Cousin Roy. I got the picture with him. His fist is crazy bigger than mine, man. I ain't got a small fist though. Look, see the top rank tag on my joint. Man, that's Roy's fist right there. All right.
Lights, camera, action, man. You ever been backstage, huh? Oh.
You see who it is? Did you miss me? Yeah, shout out to Omaha's Fine. Yes, the lovely ring girl, Miss Tiana in the building. The news by Shaw News Motion Talk, man. I got one of my favorites, Miss. All right, the news by Shaw News. I got my guy, man. First off, man, I want to say I am extremely proud of you, man. From the neighborhood, Brownsville.
Yo, Shaw, look who I ran into.
What's going on, y'all? This is Nation Brothers.
Nation Brothers.
Shout out Showtime Shot News. Let's go.
Hey, we missed you here this time. We're going to catch you next time, though.
That's right.
We out here in Quebec having fun.
Out here having fun. Abdul always said that we out here having fun. Shout out to Abdul, the newly crowned WBO champion. Man, Hopefully y'all enjoyed a little of this reaction sauce, man. Come out the bushes though, man. So that's the jealous fan zone bushes over there, man. Come out the bushes, man. We all talk content. You know, I popped up today in a couple of chats before we got too busy at work, and I made a couple statements because I'm not team Richard Hitchison, but I am team boxing, and a lot of discussing on Richard Hitchison's name right now, right? And I'm not here to defend him, right? But at the end of the day, content creators and boxing fans are gonna get on here and speculate and speak on things, right? But if you guys were who you say you are, influencers and supposed to be knowing things in boxing, right? If I am a multi-million-dollar manager and I put money into a fighter and I'm his handler, right? I'm gonna move him a certain type of way. A lot of times guys that talk about boxing and speak, oh, he's scared to fight this guy, he doesn't want to fight. No. Maybe his manager who looks at him as an investment is like, no, we're not taking that fight. But you guys are supposed to know the game and you talk the game, but you don't. I put that out there today. And I also want to put this out there too, right? A lot of times people will speak about fighters, what they do in the gyms, their sparring sessions and all this shit. Have you ever been in the gym and witnessed them spar? What sparring sessions have you seen? See, a lot of dudes come on here and they speculate. I came on here and I've seen Africa spar many times. Seen him spar Jihad, seen him spar numerous guys. I've been in the gyms. But when I hear people speak, I'm like, yo, what gyms have you been in, man? Like, a lot of y'all just get on here and just you go off of what you see on the boxing voice over here, there, and then you get mad or you feel some type of way when I front on y'all. When I get on my academics, because I'm on my academics when it comes to this boxing shit. I always told y'all, fuck the views, man. I get it, the real life views, man. But hey, what do I know, man? Motion talk, man. I'm out the door. I'm going to go get my daughter. A little quick reaction.
You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up.
Shout out to Shy News, the Source Experience. Have a good day, buddy.
Hey, this is Coach Larry Wade, IBL Champions. Hey, I train professional boxers, and you with Sauce Talk Podcast. You don't want to miss anything that he puts on here.
Appreciate you, champ. You know the vibe.
Hey guys, this is Tiana Tuimuhelua. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes.